How scenarios are to be used include invest now, build relationships, educate, and take action. Factors shaping the future and emerging trends. The food production industry is going to face a number of uncertainties over the next few decades. The first issue is resource depletion, which is a key uncertainty for the future. Today, what is consumed is greater than what we are able to regenerate. Resource depletion is a wide-ranging issue. The second issue is climate change, which has a significant impact on the production of food. Increased temperatures and carbon dioxide levels help some crops to grow, but the frequency and severity of droughts and floods will reduce overall yields. The third issue is population growth and increasing demands on agriculture, where there are three main factors that play an important role in ensuring the ability to feed a country's population. There is accessibility to arable land, water availability, and population pressure. As a result, food producers will be able to face a number of challenges, as they have to ensure more than sufficient food is produced to feed the escalating population. The fourth issue is growth of the global middle class and changing consumption patterns. The rising global middle class, which is most prominent in countries such as India, Brazil, and China, shows a great growing demand for meat, eggs, and dairy. If these trends continue, the consequences of population growth and richer diets will require us to roughly double the amount of crops we grow by 2050. The final issue is international climate. This is a key uncertainty for food producers around the world due to the shifting political ideologies in America, the UK, and Western Europe. America is a specific area of concern with the recent election of President Trump, who is the center of the key uncertainty. In this society, there are an extremely high proportion of winners and losers, with there being less and less losers. This is a result of climate change becoming a topic of the past with no relevance in this world. The early decades of the 21st century, where there was a fear of global warming and depleting natural resources. Two megatrends from the early 21st century are partly responsible for the changing attitudes and behaviours of businesses, governments, and society. All stakeholders begin to realize that if they were to continue their habits of consumption over the long term, they must make a sacrifice in the short term. This is closely linked to the second megatrend regarding planetary pushback. These two trends are the center of this key scenario and key contributors in getting humankind to act on a united front to secure a livelihood of the future's generations and the well-being of the planet. The benefits of this world are varied and abundant, including the amount of arable land has increased significantly, benefiting specifically those who have suffered through droughts and famine for extended periods of time. There are less people living in poverty due to kinder climate conditions. This is a world in which global cooperation has ceased to exist. It has created an atmosphere of a free-for-all competition. Our worst fears about global warming have come true, and the dire consequences have been accelerated by volatile resource depletion. As a result, global tensions have risen, resulting in intense competition for resources, along with the rise of isolationist and protectionist policies. All trade agreements have been abandoned, and nations focus on survival of their own population and strive to be self-sufficient. Lesser economically developed countries have been hit hardest, lacking the necessary capital, investments, infrastructure, and technology to survive. This is a society where the effects of long-term negligence towards the Earth and the natural environment have resulted in the fears about global warming coming true. The unrestrained burning of fossil fuels has resulted in the increase of global temperatures and an increase in the frequency of droughts, floods, rising sea levels, and a decrease in arable land. People have come to understand just how finite the planet's resources truly are. Consequently, mankind has come together in a unified front to ensure effective resource sustainability in order to prolong the existence of the human race. Renewable energy sources, alternative fuel, solar power, waste management, and recycling are all areas of crucial focus. Agriculture is an area of huge investment, seeing an increased use in technology in food production to create higher yields with less inputs. In a world where food has become so much more valuable and appreciated due to climate change and depleting resources, individuals want to be more involved in the food process and have access to a greater amount of information. This is a world where the people are celebrating. After spending the 90s and the first few decades of the 21st century worrying about climate change and global warming, it never came true. The sea levels have stopped rising at drastic rates, the polar ice caps have begun expanding, and global temperatures have plateaued. As a result, people, businesses, governments have relaxed on the topic. Consequently, resource depletion is happening at a volatile rate, with zero regard for future generations. Implication on food producers. There are already a variety of trends at play that have an impact on food production and will continue to play a significant role in the industry. Resource depletion, population growth, the rising middle class, changing consumption patterns, and an unpredictable international climate all contribute to the success of food producers in the future. Consumption patterns and trends are constantly changing, so it is hard to imagine what consumers will be depending on in the near future. Similarly, a rise of the middle class will also result in more disposable income, which will have a direct impact on demand. The scenarios developed in this report take a glimpse into what the future may hold for food producers and other key stakeholders such as consumers and government. What actually happened in 2015 may not be an accurate representation of one of these scenarios, but it may contain a variety of aspects from each of the four scenarios.